Well, next up, it's the Xfinity men's 100 meters. Nice way to close things out. Those world and American records always factoring into the conversation when you have the talent of Noah Lyles in stadium.
The first U.S. man to leave the World Championships with 3 gold medals since Tyson Gay did it back in 2007. He knows what's ahead this year. He's going to get everybody's best shot, as all champions do, in every race.
A little boxing there, and you know, boxing's a head-to-head matchup, and Lyles last year going toe-to-toe with this man, Christian Coleman.
Christian Coleman was second yesterday at the Diamond League meeting after winning in Xiamen. Look at how far back Noah Lyles was. So he closed, but had to settle for second behind the 2019 World 100-meter champion, Christian Coleman. That rivalry continues to be very exciting.
Yeah, it was a great rivalry in the indoor season as Lyles won the U.S. title indoors in Albuquerque, and then Coleman, the world indoor record holder at 60 meters, took the world indoor title. But Lyles came out of that whole process of the indoor season with a whole bunch of enthusiasm because, as he said in an interview with Lewis earlier in the show, the worst part of his race is getting better.
There's no question about that. It's one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily think that he could win Worlds until he got there and he was showing us just phenomenal acceleration in those early heats.
It's not a one-man exhibition. There is competition to be had, and one of the top Canadian sprinters, Aaron Brown, is here.
He made the final at the World Championships at both 100 and 200 back in 2022 in Eugene. And then you see that 6th place finish at the Tokyo Olympics as we look now at Austin, who ran 9:89 to win his semifinal at last year's NCAAs. He's run 10:02 already this year. Can we talk about the elephant in the room, Paul? A high schooler is still the fastest man in the world at 100. Shout out to Christian Miller. 9:93 in high school? Wow.
Given the prevailing conditions here, we could see something fast like that with the winds at their back, but obviously anything over 2 meters per second would not be wind legal for the purposes of keeping track of the world's fastest. What do you want to see from Noah Lyles here as we conclude April's running?
That nobody is separating from him in the first 50. We know he can finish, but it's always his acceleration that he's working on.
For Noah Lyles, the road to Paris begins in Bermuda. And he's alongside the leaders here now. Let's see if that top end speed is there. Oh, yes, it is. And Noah Lyles going to go sub 10. It'll be wind aided, but that was what Noah Lyles came to do. Win and win confidently.
Yes, I think his coach will be very pleased with that. I told you before the gun went off, nobody pulling away from him early in the race. Now, of course, this is not the sort of the caliber of final we're going to see at the U.S. Olympic trials, in fairness to everybody concerned. But at the same time, this is the way that Noah needs to look. He's fourth from the left in the yellow. Nobody was out early ahead of him. He didn't have to really summon that finish that he's known for. This was almost a wire-to-wire win for the 2023 World 100 and 200 meter world champion, Noah Lyles.
And we keep talking about top end speed, top end speed. Where does top end speed happen in 100?
Well, if you're Noah Lyles, it's going to start happening after 50 meters, and it's why he was able to overhaul the rest of that field last year at the World Championships. Remember, he just won that race by a lean. So that's a great card to have to be able to play for Noah Lyles when you're that good in the latter half of the race.
But if you're just getting to know Noah Lyles, you now see what he can do on the track, but he's also got a great personality, and always great to hear from him after a victory, and he's down with Lewis.
All right, Noah, so we saw 9:96 on the clock. We'll ignore the 3 meters per second win. What are your thoughts about the performance?
All together, I think it was a pretty well put together race. I felt that I had a pretty average start. My acceleration kicked in, and I felt like it was like brand new territory. Running past that last 40 meters, you know, running so many 60s. So I'm excited to finally be getting there, but there's definitely a lot to clean up.
You told me that whatever the time you saw outdoor here, whether it was wind-aided or not, is something you'd like to see legal at some point. So how much are you inspired by what you ran here, what might happen later in the season?
To be honest, I see 996. I expect to run that in the next meet.
Okay.
So I'm definitely glad not to see 10.3.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to see 9.96.
So what about your experience here on the island? You come here, I know you love it. You love to relax with your family and, of course, then deliver performances like this. How has Bermuda been the perfect place to run today?
Yeah, as I said in the press conference, it's, a sense of peace, a calmness, and a sense of family. Everybody's extremely nice, and it just makes you want to keep coming back and performing.
The journey to gold is real, it's alive. And can you now begin to think about what's possible at the trials and, of course, the games?
I've already have, Ever since indoor, I've been thinking about it. So even though I'm going to push it a little further back because we got to go to the Olympic trials and make the team first, and that's still ringing in my head.
All righty, and until then, before you leave, all these fans behind you want to have an autograph on the front of the photo, so now they're all yours. Congratulations, we'll see you at the next time.
All right, thanks, Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to reinforce about what Noah did right. Interesting, he said that was an average start and great acceleration. So this is somebody who now is used to and feels like he should always be in the front, even early in 100 meters.